All right, 20 people. So only 10 are at the golf course right now.
Or on the sledding hill.
Yeah. All right, it is 12 o'clock. Let's get this party started.
You bet.
Welcome,
Ring the bell.
welcome to, I don't have one, but I'm going to mute everyone real first. Let's see, where is that? Oh, I don't know where it's at. So you guys just mute yourselves. Welcome to Beavercreek Rotary, Zoom edition. It's been a while since we've done this. I think this is my first one actually doing it. So, but yeah, so appreciate everyone's patience. Obviously, due to the weather, we decided not to meet in person, which after looking at my street this morning, I'm glad we decided to do that. I'd like to thank everyone that greeted someone today. Let's go ahead and start off with our invocation. Denny Jarby.
Would you join me in prayer? Holy Creator, today we pray that we receive your special blessing because we are committed to the real service organization to help mankind. May each of us know our daily routine, come to know the joy of caring and sharing with others not so fortunate as we are. May our motto that includes serving, caring, and sharing be for us life and service. Amen.
Thank you very much. Secretary's report, David Cusack.
We have attendance of 20 Rotarians and a guest, Fred Pomeroy. Fred, are you still in the Fairborn Rotary? No? Okay.
Yes.
You are? Okay, so fellow Rotarian. So, and our attendance is not as bad. We're adding. Dr. Hunter, thank you for arriving. And Chief Fiorita, we're over 40% now.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't know that. Fred's a Fairborn Rotarian. That's where he started. So nice. Sergeant at Arms, Don Adams.
Well, before I get started, I want to just say that not all heroes wear capes. We've got some real heroes in our community, our first responders, police and fire, who are out there all the time in all kinds of weather as we sit here comfortable in our homes. And I also want to give a huge shout out to the street departments, both the Beavercreek City, Township, and Greene County, because they're out there trying to make it so we can get back out and meet together. So I just wanted to say that before we got started. But I was asked to do the Sergeant at Arms duties today, and not really sure how to do it. So I did look at some film from some former Sergeant at Arms. Still don't know anything about it. So I guess I'll just try to trudge forward and see what we can do. Current news, that seems to be something people start with. Coy Middle School choir department got a visit from one of the members of the cast of Hamilton, and the kids were really excited about that. Beavercreek Defense Contractor Radiance Technologies is going to create 100 new positions and invest, I think it's $930,000 in their Pentagon Boulevard location. An Idaho man says he has completed his goal of breaking 52 world records in 2021, including fastest time to rearrange a chessboard and most juggling catches on a balance board blindfolded. I think some people have way too much time on their hands. There was a veteran that won $4 million in a lottery using numbers from a fortune cookie. I usually just throw those things away, but I think maybe I'll start looking at those. If you believe a rodent can predict weather, Punxsutawney Phil has seen his shadow, so we're looking at 6 more weeks of winter. I guess he can be just as accurate as any other weather person out there. Couple of educational items that I came across. I've kind of always wondered this one myself. Why do men's clothes have buttons on the right and women's have buttons on the left? I guess when they first were invented, they were expensive and worn primarily by the rich. So they thought it was easier for the man to push a button in with his right hand, because most people were right-handed. And most of the women were dressed by their maids, so they made it so that they could push the button in from their right hand, with their right hand. and they just stayed with it. Why do people clink their glasses before drinking a toast? In the early times, it used to be common for someone to try to kill their enemy with an offering of a poison drink. To prove that a guest's drink was good, they would pour part of it into the other one and both would drink at the same time. And when they were comfortable with the person they were meeting with and drinking with, they just clinked the glasses, and that just seemed to stick. One kind of a unique thought that came up today. Did you know there's 4 different shapes to the McDonald's chicken McNuggets? Well, now you do. The 4 shapes are the ball, the bell, the bone, and the boot. On this day in history, February 4th, Britain declared a formal cessation of hostilities with its former colonies, the United States of America. And in 1789, electors unanimously chose George Washington to be the first president of the United States. In 1824, J.W. Goodrich introduced rubber galoshes to the public. In 1847, in Maryland, the first U.S. telegraph company was established. In 1932, the first Winter Olympics was held in the United States at Lake Placid, New York. And for a lot of you guys in here, you know, you're familiar with this organization. The United States Service Organization, USO, was created in 1941. In 1957, Smith Corona Manufacturing Company of New York began selling portable electric typewriters. The first one weighed 19 pounds. In 1974, Patricia Hearst was kidnapped in Berkeley by the Symbionese Liberation Army. And in 2004, and we're all familiar with this one, the social networking website Facebook was launched. And then it seems like everybody seems to tell a couple of jokes, so I have a couple of them here. I have a whole library of them. If anybody follows me on Facebook, you know I've got at least one a day. You've not really been drunk until you have to grab onto the grass to keep from falling off the earth. I hate it when I'm singing along with a song on the radio and the artist changes the words. Here's some practical advice for you. If all the toilets in your house are occupied and you're waiting for one to be free, turn off the internet. Yesterday, I opened a can of worms. They just sat there, not quite the chaos that had been advertised. Walmart had to remove 50,000 milk cartons from their stores. The labels had to be changed from open here to say open at home. Here's a true fact. There are more airplanes in the ocean than there are submarines in the sky. And Newton had been urinating for years and saw the pee go down, but needed a falling apple to discover gravity. And finally, I just watched a dog chase his tail for 5 minutes and thought, dogs are easily entertained. Then I realized I've been watching a dog chase his tail for 5 minutes. That's as far as I'll go with that. I just do have some fines. I know they're going to be honorary. I hope you honor them next week when you come. If you've ever worn galoshes, that's $1. If you've ever used a typewriter, that's $1. If you've ever sent a telegram, that's $1. If you've ever opened a carton of milk at Walmart, that's $1. Actually, that should be $10. If you ever sang the correct lyrics to a song that the artist got wrong, that's $1. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Stephen for the happy bucks.
Thank you, Don. I'm curious, who has sent a telegram before?
I did. I was stationed in Okinawa, and that's how we notified our parents that our daughter was born.
Ah, that'd be $1, sir.
I have received a telegram. That's how we would go back and forth. Same thing during the war, Vietnam War. That's sometimes how you got notifications. So I have received, and Actually, one was sent to let my husband know that our first son was born. So, yep, we've used them.
That'd be $1 as well.
I have a couple of happy bucks at the men's basketball game the other night. 2 players were awarded special recognition. Senior Adam Duvall has a career high of over 1,000 points scored. And closer to home, grandson of Ed Phillips, senior Gabe Phillips, has over 250 block shots in his career. And according to our athletic director, he is approaching the GWalk record for number of block shots. So our fingers are crossed for that.
Wow, that's amazing. Anyone else? Happy bucks?
Yeah, I'll have a happy buck because Wednesday was Groundhog Day, and also it was 2-2-2-2. I have a happy buck. Wednesday was Groundhog Day, and it was also 2-2-2-2. I won't continue.
I have a happy buck for Eric not continuing. And then I have a happy buck for Don, because to debut as a sergeant at arms when you're not with the live audience is a super challenge. And then I have a happy buck for my wife. And I know she doesn't have to pay a fine because she gets the lyrics right on every song that she sings.
Cheer up, sweet Bajeen, right?
Oh, that's great. I'll do a happy buck for Don as well. Great job on the Sergeant Arms. We're going to have to keep asking you. So, but also he didn't want credit for this, but I'm going to go ahead and give him credit anyway. True inspiration of being a Rotarian. So service above self. Don called me yesterday, and he is wanting to feed all of the street workers at Beavercreek. And he said, no one's going to know about me and him, but I'm going to tell you guys anyways. So great example of service above self. So thank you, Don. Appreciate it. Anyone else? All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and move on with the program. I'm going to have Pete Bales go ahead and introduce our speaker, please.
Okay, thank you, Stephen, and welcome everybody. It's good to see you on this snowy day. It's really my pleasure to introduce Fred Pomeroy. I'm sure a lot of you know him. I've had the pleasure to know Fred for probably around 20 years. Throughout my career in the Fairborn government, I got to know Fred really well. Fred is a former Air Force pilot, an entrepreneur, and of course, a city council member, former city council member in Fairborn, and really quite instrumental for the changes that are happening in Fairborn right now. He is a huge sport lover. He's got grandkids who are exceptional in some sports, and he loves to talk about them. One thing you may or may not know about Fred is he's also an author. He wrote a book called Born to Live on the Edge. And it's really cool because it's all about his life experiences in the military, and after he got out of the military, working in the community and being on council, and then actually just into retirement. So it's a really cool book, and Fred gave me a copy and actually wrote a nice passage to me, and I really enjoyed reading it. He's a great family man with his wife Mary, and I really look forward to I always look forward to talking to Fred, but he's also involved with a lot happening at the Greene County Airport, and he's going to give us an update today on that. So without any further ado, please take it away, Fred.
Thanks, Pete. Too bad. I really was looking forward to being there in person, like hug the girls and shake the hands of some friends out there. And let me see if I can share I hit just share screen,
Yep.
says host disabled participant screen sharing. So I guess you have to,
Yeah, let me see here. Only host all participants. All right. So you should be good now.
let me try it here. Okay. Can you see it now? Can you see my briefing?
I
No,
do.
not yet, Fred.
Okay, let me see how. Maybe I have to do this. Can you see it now?
There it is.
All
Yep.
right. Okay, for those that know me, don't know me, I'm Fred Pomeroy, one of 7 members of the Greene County Airport Authority Board. Here to talk to you about the Greene County Airport, now named the Lewis A. Jackson Regional Airport, after one of the original Tuskegee Airmen from the local area. The board oversees and approves funding of the airport for the Greene County commissioners. The board president is James Christensen. The airport manager is Dave Kushner. And the airport is operated by a Mac Air Aviation, a small local company. The airport was chartered in October 1968 by Governor Rhodes and has operated successfully over the years. In 2005, significant improvements were made, extending the runway to 4,500 feet and upgrading the taxiways. In 2016, we have made the most significant improvements, resurfacing the runway and 7,500 square feet of ramp. Build a new corporate box hangars and increased the runway length from 4,500 feet to 5,004 feet, which has allowed us to service mid-range jets now. We now have the capability of single point refuel corporate jets and have full maintenance capability to maintain and repair any type of aircraft. This capability is provided by Mac Air Aviation, who has provided excellent service since 2010. Now let me see if I can make myself work here. Okay. There we go. Our vision is to maintain the airport as a vibrant part of our community, helping to grow the local economy, supporting all aspects of aviation, and providing opportunities for all ages to engage directly in our aviation heritage. Our mission is to accomplish this vision is to serve the people of Greene County and the region as part of our critical infrastructure, an economic engine, and an educational asset. Here are some of the ways we provide value to the community. The direct and indirect economic impacts are 130 jobs and 7 million in revenue. Over 25 of these jobs are with Mac Air on site. This equates to jobs on and off the airport, obtaining businesses that would not otherwise come to Greene County, getting additional travelers and visitors, such as one year we had the University of Kentucky's Coach Calipari flew in to watch some of his prospective basketball players, staying a couple of days in Beavercreek. And lately we've had a bigger jet, with the passenger jet with over 35 passengers that landed and got serviced, but he didn't stay overnight. They just passed through because of our cheap fuel. And maintaining the airport as a public asset, it is open to the public at no cost. The airport supports military aviation programs by supporting research projects to include the UAVs, unmanned air vehicles, that is, and training Air Force flight surgeons. which has been a mainstay for our income. They're on contract with Mac Air to do that also. Provides critical support to fire, EMS, and police aviation by letting them use our facilities, training personnel, search and rescue support, and civil air patrol. We also provide service to care flight, medevac, and other medical emergencies services, both air and ground. Some of the programs supporting STEM education and inspiring youth are we have the Greene County Career Center Take Flight Initiative, which was funded a year or two ago. And they have constructed a 7,500 square foot hangar, which is complete now and in use. They have between 20 and 25 students being trained to maintain and repair aircraft and engines. And these students will earn an airframe mechanics certification, so which is a really big deal. Not only are they getting interested in aviation, but they can also fix the airplanes and get a good job. The Young Eagle program is for students ages 8 to 17, where the local pilots donate approximately 120 flight hours to enable students to experience flying at no charge. This is done 5 times a year for up to 25 students attending each event. And we've got a lot of interest out of that, and some of the kids have even gone in the Air Force programs from that occasion. Supporting the air camp, which old General Reynolds heads up. We focus the STEM program on aviation for students and teachers by operating the wind tunnel, conducting a ground school. They get 1 flight also, and operate the simulator and have other training during a week or 2 time frame. A ground school, we also have a contract that was just signed recently, and I think they're starting this month or probably March because of the weather. But they have a contract with Sinclair College Aviation Program to provide ground and flight training for students, which is another new activity that we're actually getting some funds from. Future projects we have in our long range plans are exploring joint use of the new Fire Station 66, which should hopefully start construction this year. We're talking to them about office space, storage, and access to the runway. Still, Alex is there. He can tell you more about that. We have a couple little issues, but it looks like that's working out well, and we're really looking forward to working with the fire station, the fire department. The sewer and water lines are installed and operational. Terminal building renovation is underway with design and exterior construction complete. Construction will hopefully start in March for the interior, which will add a pilot lounge, more training areas, and improved access to the building and ramp. Planning on expansion of the east ramp to allow additional hangar construction and business development. We're looking at putting in a perimeter wildlife fencing, mainly to keep the deer out. We have agreement with the county sheriff department to harvest deer, and they got over 35 in the year of 21, and they're roaming around out there. The guys still got to work on that a little bit. Noise abatement procedures are in place for new development in the area. In 2021, we also received a 2009,000 grant from ODOT to replace our weather station, the AWAS, which not only provides weather conditions to pilots, but the general public as well through a national data feed. Many weather apps and media outlets use our weather station data feed, including the Weather Channel and the Weather Bug. And of course, why do you choose Greene County Airport? The airport has over 5,000 feet of runway, 75 feet wide, lighted runway. It's open 24/7 with the GPS WAS instrument programs, approaches. We have both 100 low lead and Jet A fuel, which is available 24/7 with lower rates than most of the area airports. And that's kind of our way of interesting more of the jets coming in. And I'll tell you how much fuel we sold. Well, I guess I can do that now. It was, we sold in 21 alone, 89,308 gallons of avgas, 21,012 gallon of Jet A fuel, which was 36% increase over 2019. We have a major airframe and power plant repair facilities on our airport. We have an automated weather observation system, which was the AWAS 3 weather station on the field with national real-time reporting, which is the one that we want to get upgraded. But because of the COVID and the delay and all kinds of supplies, that's probably not going to happen until about May. We have 220,000 square feet of ramp space, 55 box and T hangars, public utilities, including fire hydrants. Have a terminal building with the pilot lounge, conference room, restrooms, flight training facilities. Our time and cost savings via the airport layout is due to, it only takes 3 minutes from touchdown to shutdown because of the way the airport's laid out. We are in a convenient location because we're only 15 minutes or less time from Dayton, Xenia, Beavercreek, Fairborn, and in Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which should be lucrative if you have a DOD company, corporate company that wants to locate in the area. Hopefully that'll incentivize them more. Land leases are available for development of aviation facilities and private and corporate hangars. Fire Station 66 is scheduled for construction in 22 with direct access to the runway. We're designated as a, this was new also, we've just been designated an extensive flight training activity airport, which is the only few exist in Ohio. We average about 139 aircraft operations per day. That's takeoffs and landings or landings. Over 90% are training flights. This is an increase over 18% over 2019. And there currently are 81 aircraft based here. So that's about all the new information I have. Let's see if I can get out of here without getting away. Any questions?
Yeah.
Excellent presentation, Fred.
Oh, go ahead, Jarvie.
Hey, Fred, is there any chance of any increase in the runway length beyond 5,000?
Probably not. We're running out of real estate. And then it starts intruding. We don't want to get too big airplanes because then it'll start intruding on the local, developments. There's some of them. In fact, there's a new road that should go right past the fire station that will connect. I'm going to forget the roads now, but Valley Road and the one that goes past Beavercreek Golf Course, or Country Club of the North, not Beavercreek Golf Course, Country Club of the North. And so there's going to be more development out there. So I don't think it'll get bigger than the 5,004.
I have sure enjoyed watching the expansion and the changes taking place at the airport since I kept my tired old Mooney there years ago.
Yeah. A lot of good things going on.
Out of curiosity, what is the size? Because it's hard to picture when you're talking about exact numbers. What's the difference between this airport and the Wright Brothers Airport, size-wise?
Well, the runway length, that's why it went to 5,004, because I think they're 5,003. It's going to be bigger than they were.
And this would be, like you said, it'd be 24/7 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. My buddy's a flight instructor, and he's taken me out a couple times, but at nighttime it's pretty cool that he just turned into a certain radio frequency and the runway lights just came on. It's pretty neat.
We have one of our problems is we do have some room to build some new hangars, but then when you do a cost benefit analysis, it takes 30 to 50 years to pay it off, and it's just not cost effective. I mean, we have several pilots that want to use need hangar space that are in the waiting list. So we are looking at a cheaper way of doing it, to at least build one more hangar. And of course, if a corporation came in and wanted to build a hangar, we definitely would encourage that. But
yeah, maybe talk to Connor Group and see if they want another big hangar for their corporate.
Yeah, well, one thing is we always keep the gas 5-10 cents cheaper a gallon cheaper than Dayton General, because a lot of people don't even know we're here, and they actually over there and move in. And but I think they're getting short. They have a waiting list too now.
So are you going to have a bunch of smaller hangars like Moraine Airport? They have just a bunch of individual hangars for private flights.
Yeah, probably not, because there's not enough room to build unless we, well, I shouldn't say that. If it's long term, it could happen if the family sells the land on the east side of the farmland there that's available, if they would sell it. But that would be the only way that we could expand on the other side of the runway. That's possible.
Fred, how is the airport marketing its services?
Well, this is it. We put together this pitch, and then we work with the county development director, and so we've given him this briefing and some other neat shots that pictures, photos, and that he can use in his pitch for bringing companies in. So that's pretty much what and then we're going around talking to, Rotary. We've already talked to the the business people through the Beavercreek, what is it, the Township Committee, Development Committee, that has all of the local cities involved. Forget the name of it, but I gave them a briefing last year. You were probably there.
Yeah, the Greene County Township Association.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, Fred, this is Jerry. Is the Career Center now fully operational with their hangar out there for aircraft maintenance?
Yeah, they're, in fact, they're doing between 20 and 25 students. And they're open for adults too, but they really doing a good job. This is the second year they're operational. It's looking good.
That's a good program.
Oh, yeah. And it's a needed one too, because there's a lot of job, aircraft maintenance jobs available for the kids to get when they get out.
Mhm.
Out of curiosity, how many airports have a fire station on site? Obviously minus Dayton International.
Well, I'm not sure, but I would say very few.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the carrots we have too. And that's hopefully, we're hoping that'll entice some corporate companies to come in and build a hangar up there.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I mean, with that being that unique, I wonder if there's ever been talks about having training for firefighters for aviation. I'm sure it's a whole other training piece, but yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Just
Mike.
one thing to add, Stephen, go to kind of Pete's question that we've worked with the airport board. And of course, Fred and I have spent a lot of time together over the last 3 years at meetings, but under Randy Grosjean's leadership in the Community Development Risk Department, we rezoned the airport. So it is now, instead of just being under a generic, I think it was an industrial on I-1, we actually created an aviation zoning and applied it to the airport. So it'll be easier for businesses that want to come and go through the process of building out there instead of going through conditional uses and things like that. So we looked at every jurisdiction in the state of Ohio that had an airport in it, whether it was a township, city, or operated by a county. We looked at the zoning, took some things from each of them, went to the airport board, worked with them. They added a few things, changed a few things, and then we took it to our zoning commission, the county, and board of township trustees. So it should make it a lot easier if a business wants to come tomorrow to build out there.
Yeah, good point.
Thanks, Alex. Out of curiosity, did you have to deal with the FAA for any of the zoning, or is that just completely separate?
But anytime you build, yes, you have to go through the FAA to make sure you meet all their standards before we even get down to the county engineers.
And so you were a pilot, Fred?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What'd you fly?
Well, most of my hours are about 3,000 hours in the 135 of various types, KC, EC, BC, RT, and about 1,000 hours in OV10, and for a Ford air controller. And then the other was some mixed ones, FT39, and you've got 100 hours in the B52, which you want to be a truck driver, that's a good occupation.
Yeah.
Denny knows about that. We used to cover his at 105.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you still fly?
No, not anymore. I decided my multitasking capabilities are getting worse and worse at the age of 79, and so about 10 years ago I had to quit before I killed myself.
Well, glad you're still with us, Fred.
I used to fly in and out of Greene County Airport about 30 years ago or so. kept the 172 there. And it was a great airport. I always like coming in over 30, US 35 with the trees down below you as you're coming in on that runway, looking like you're going to land in the treetops.
Yeah.
Fred, this
Yeah,
is,
that's how I feel at Moraine coming over the airport. It's a quick dive before you go over the water. So, is anybody else have questions?
yeah, I do. Fred, this is Brian Jarvis. You said that you sell your jet fuel at 10 cents a gallon and less than others. How can you afford that?
Well, not quite. It ends up that the Mac Air, they take a certain percentage up above what they buy it for, and then it just ends up that it happens to be it's not always 10, maybe 5. Once in a while you get a local, but usually at the general airport, we're always at least 5 cents cheaper. So they just kind of play it by ear, but they do keep their profit margin up enough that they're making money.
I'll guarantee you people, as you're flying light airplanes, you pay attention to what the gas prices are everywhere. And the pilots know what the price of gases are at these various airports.
Yeah.
Yeah, and out of curiosity, again, every plane's different, but let's just say a light airplane. How many gallons do they usually carry?
My Mooney carried 48 gallons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the planes burn not miles per gallon, it's gallons per hour.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Like a small airplane would be 12 to 15 gallons an hour. And like Denny said, it'll be around 50 gallon unless they have an extra tank. Now the jets, they're, you get a couple 100 gallon in that.
You may have mentioned it earlier, but I know like the jets like at Wright Pat, so I think they use like JP4. What type of fuel do the jets or like even like small little Cessnas use? And what did you say the cost is per gallon typically?
I'd have to go look. I have it in the back, but I don't have it right here.
Oh, it's fine if you have just like a ballpark. I just have no idea.
I'd be guessing. I don't know. If somebody out there's Dave, have you been flying lately? Dunce? He probably has a better idea.
Yeah, I haven't flown for a while. I sold my airplane and I haven't been keeping up, Fred.
Dave probably has the answer. Dave. You got to unmute, Dave. Got to unmute, Dave. Dave, can you unmute?
Which Dave are we talking about?
Dave Dunce. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's running around 450 or 475 a gallon for 100 low lead. And I think the Jet A is in the $2.75 range or $3 range.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
What's the difference between those two?
Well, one's a regular, like unleaded or regular gas.
Okay.
Well, the 100 low lead is like probably super leaded, and then the Jet A is regular jet of gas. I'm not even sure. Now that you mentioned, I'm not sure if Jet A is JP4 or not.
Isn't Jet A more like kerosene, Fred?
It probably is.
David, are you a pilot?
Yes.
Oh, I never knew that. Huh. You still fly now?
Yeah, I still do.
Huh.
I still have a plane in Greene County.
He flies out of Greene County.
Huh.
Dave didn't tell you, but he's sitting in Florida. Hi, Dave. Hey, Jerry.
Do you fly to Florida yourself?
Yes, I got the plane down here. Yes. I'm going to go fly this afternoon.
We should be friends, David.
It's going to be 83 degrees.
Yeah.
What part of Florida?
New Smyrna Beach, East Coast, near Daytona Beach.
Well, welcome to Zoom Rotary. So that worked out. Anybody else have any questions?
Just want to make one public service announcement and let everybody know that's on Zoom today, that every one of our meetings is Zoomed. And anytime you can't make it to a meeting, it's the same code every single week. Just Zoom in and come to Rotary.
Absolutely. So per tradition, we always dedicate a book to the Greene County Library with your name on it. And I believe Beth has that for us.
I do have a book, but before that, I want to announce that if you are interested in reading Mr. Pomeroy's book, his biography called Born to Live on the Edge, we do have a couple copies available at the Greene County Public Library that you can check out, and one that will forever be in our archives in the Greene County room, because we keep a book of every local author that is published. So check that out. So in your honor, Mr. Pomeroy, we will be donating a book to the Beavercreek Community Library. It's part of the biography series called Ordinary People Who Changed the World, and it is I Am Neil Armstrong.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Very fitting. Very fitting. Yeah. And I have to say, I absolutely love the title of your book. It instantly reminded me of CCR. So yeah, love it. Anything else for the good of the club? Perfect. I do want to thank everyone for the short notice moving the meeting, especially Fred. Thank you for making it happen on Zoom today. So yeah, for everyone's sake, to be safe, and I hope everyone's safe today with the road. So at that, we'll just go ahead and end the meeting. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Thanks, Fred.
Stephen, if I can get out of my driveway, I'll text you.
Okay.
And come over and get those checks signed.
Yeah, I won't be leaving the house, so you let me know.
I got to see if I can get the snowmobile to get